better than they have in the past, and now they truly are one of the most dangerous teams out in NA.
I mean, Ultimates have been able to work as a squad far more effectively than NRG in this particular series. I mean, just one look at the passing, and you see one side's connecting with their teammates, the other not so much. Daniel takes out LJ, second man's there, and Chronic. And now Beast Mode had that one drop right in front of LJ, easy clear. Chronic will pick up the pieces to the backboard. First killer got it cleanly, and it's wide. Follow up wide, third time's the charm. LJ does it again.
This is just crazy. I don't think I've ever seen people hit the post 2 times back to back like that and then have to have somebody on, I think, no boost. Yeah, LJ on no boost, just come in and be like, just throw it in the middle. You went too left, you went too right, just go middle. Ultimates get their lead here in this game number 4. A foot towards a sweep on NRG of all teams.
And it's not that NRG has played poorly at all. Again, they are just running into a team that has decided they are the buzzsaw today. And NRG, about as helpless as a leaf in a whirlpool. Chronic sending that around the boards. And Atomic will lose this race to first killer. Chronic making sure he doesn't get starved out at the back, so he can come in and get involved in the play, but Beast Mode just beat him to it.
This one just gonna bounce around the corner here a little bit.
Oh, first killer, what a save!
First killer, he's on fire. This is a confident first killer, and I feel like it started with the GG we saw with the chat. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, this game 4 is gonna be a level of ego in his play style that we haven't quite seen yet. 3:15 on the clock and a 1-goal lead. NRG are trying, but they just continue to be denied.
This could be awkward for the Ultimates. Atomic got it to the backboard, and still first killer happened to be around, and he got a piece of that ball as well. Now Daniel trying to get that to go out towards Atomic, but he had to be a little hesitant, and they couldn't really play it back to him. Now Atomic trying to play it across. Beast Mode's there as well. Daniel gonna let one rip, and first killer's got it away, making sure Beast Mode isn't able to clean up the scraps. And first killer's over there after the touch from Daniel. Just another obstacle for NRG to deal with as we get into the second half of a game they must win to keep their streak alive. Again, everything's all locked up as far as Birmingham is concerned. But the other thing to keep in the back of your mind, you'd love to get as many points as you can, because look at what happened to a team like K-Corp last year. Dominant in the first split, not so much in the second, so get them while you can. Daniel's gonna lob one towards the target. First killer's got that one away. And that ricochets right back out towards who else but LJ, who just seems to have a nose for the ball now.
Less than 2 minutes to go here. Still, Ultimates are holding on to that 1-goal lead. Beast Mode's trying to change it. Atomic already trying to go forward and catch this. Daniel too, but Chronic continues to deadball it. Pass over to LJ. First killer up next. They're working together. Team might make the dream work, but not this time. Instead, NRG finally get to go back and take a couple shots, but most might not prove successful if first killer continues to be doing what he is. And, well, it just feels like there's no stopping this Ultimates team.
I mean, they outscore not Pioneers, Space Station 13-1 earlier today. And now it's, what, 12-2 at a glance, as this is just dominance from Ultimates, but it's only 1 goal, and Daniel gets it right back with 1:03 to go. Twirling through the air, he might have had some help downfield. Chronic had Beast Mode to contend with, made him jump a little early, and Daniel plays it right over top.
Hope is not lost yet, NRG fans. 1 minute and 3 seconds is enough to work with in a tied game. This Beast Mode, 2 touches on the side. First killer just trying to completely disrupt, and they've been able to respond quickly before, but can they hear? Chronic, this one gets away from him and back to the hands of Daniel. It's gonna fall forward to Atomic. A crazy clear on target at that. but Chronic was back in time to keep it out. NRG still trying to sneak this one on in. The follow-up's a lot slower, allowing the Ultimates time to defend. Every shot on target is met with the nose of an Ultimates player.
Regulation winding down. Will we have a second overtime here in this series? First one was won by Chronic off a feed from LJ, who's trying to set up LJ for a potential game winner in regulation. Now first killer, boom downfield. Daniel gets bumped, but he's still got a piece of that. And beast mode there to send it out of the corner. Down to 2 seconds. LJ just turns back, and NRG won't be able to keep this in the air. We will go to sudden death to perhaps decide the series.
A golden goal to move forward, to crush the dreams of NRG, or can they find it here? Daniel up to 1 off the ceiling, has the space, no drop down as Chronic defends, and Atomic's gonna send it back. Beast mode already up in the air, leaves this one down. First killer off to the side, and it's low and low boost for the Ultimates, but this flick out might be the breath of relief that they need.
Well, beast mode trying to start the long road back. It's still on target, and first killer's the one that clears it away. A very awkward trip downfield for NRG. Comes up empty. First killer made sure to steal the corner boost. He can create a lot, and Atomic just has that one away with LJ breathing down his neck. Now Chronic has first killer on the opposite side, and Daniel makes sure the pass never got off.
1 minute into this overtime, a bump off of Daniel. Now a demo takes him off the play entirely. Low boost from beast mode means a weaker shot than normal. Everybody just returning the demos back and forth, trying to break on him, but nobody's gonna catch Chronic. He almost sets up first killer. LJ this one to the center, and beast mode tries to follow. Ultimates are gonna slow this one down. The pass over to Chronic, 71 to work with. The bump play comes in, but Daniel to defend. LJ's bound success, but not this time.
Well, Chronic thought about going back, realized first killer had him covered. And now LJ just ahead of Atomic, and an opportunity here as LJ's beat Daniel too. Everybody's going to scramble back. And fortunately for NRG, nobody else from Ultimates was rushing forward, but now they are. LJ hit the crossbar, had an opportunity to end NRG's streak right there, but we play on.
LJ back, not enough to work with. He opted for the clear, but it falls to NRG. This one to Chronic, out to the hands of Daniel. 2 minutes into this overtime, the pressure is on. And you can feel it beating, and NRG are getting a little bit more possession than they have in the past, which is a little shaky. Daniel's gonna take a wide shot here as LJ slows it down in the air, enough to make the down pass to Chronic, but instead it's a team bump that falls back to NRG, and first killer has to race back. He gets the boost enough to be able to defend beast mode and Daniel off the play.
Well, beast mode trying to fake and leave that for Atomic to continue on, and Ultimate's unfazed by it. Now Chronic throwing at the backboard. Daniel's got to have it. No, but beast mode bailed him out. We've seen a couple missed backboard reads defensively. Really hurt NRG. Could it be a theme, and could it sink them in the end? Chronic to the corner, first killer's there, and he was looking for LJ, but Daniel read that like a book and took him out.
Such a beautiful read from Daniel, and a great demo just to stop the play in its entirety. But you gotta do it again. The pressure's still on here. Beast mode low boost. He's gonna have to 50 first killer for this one. He does, and Atomic to follow. Low boost means he's just gotta play it smart. He takes the Ultimate's boost off of them. Beast mode goes under first killer, but this one bounces out to the side, and the fight for this ball continues. A floater, no follow, and on no boost, FK manages to keep the Ultimates in possession.
Yeah, but a key boost steal or two coming out of NRG now. Chronic was the only one who had boost, and his challenge was enough, even though he didn't make contact, just enough to throw off the attack. Everybody's recovered. Big booming clear downfield, and LJ's got that one stopped at the center line. Now Chronic got to be careful here with Daniel there. And he's done well, as he's done all throughout the series and all throughout the weekend. First killer bumped, LJ demoed, first killer all alone, and he still makes the stop. And another one set up at the backboard, more hopeful than anything else, as Chronic is sure-handed as always. And again, Ultimates weather the storm. Chronic trying to get in front of Daniel, and just a touch too slow. First killer, doesn't matter, from the heavens! It's a sweep for the Ultimates!
Not only is this a sweep, a win over NRG, somebody everybody has been waiting to see fall, but on top of it all, the first time NRG has ever been swept. Not only in a best of 7, but in NA or on land, nobody has done it. The Ultimates do the impossible, and they move on in the rest of this championship Sunday.
Wow. I mean, it's happened in best of 5s, but never in a best of 7. This particular roster, going back to their G2 days. And it's the Ultimates. And it's, again, First Killer, who denies Atomic a shot at a three-peat in NA. And a big old sip for FK, as he just drinks the tears of NRG fans at this point. Unreal performance from the Ultimates.
It's honestly like, it's no words at this point. This is the potential so many people knew that they were capable of, and now it is finally locked in. The Ultimates do it, and not just do it, they do it in a sweep against NRG. We will see them continue to play for the rest of the day, but we got another series before we get on into that one. Got more Rocket League after this.
Don't pause, replay. Switch. Don't pause, press. Never thought I'd hear your voice again, and now you're taking up my mind. One spark to ignite the flame, and then it happens all the time. And I'm feeling every little thing you say to me. Wanna wake up and ditch the city. Break out, these walls are caving in, and you're a tidal wave. Yeah, take me back when you said we can do this until we're dead. Just a little bit farther, we're breathing underwater. I'm keeping your heartbeat like a drum. We can be kids out on the run. There's nothing better. I'm just glad we're young together. drum. We can be kids out on the run. There's nothing better. I'm just glad we're young together. I'm just glad we're young together. Take me back when you said there's nothing better. No oxygen, breathe you in like this will never end. And your heart beats like a drum. Now I'm glad we're young. Yeah, take me back when you said we can do this until we're dead. Just a little bit farther, we're breathing underwater. I'm keeping your heartbeat like a drum. We can be kids out on the run. There's nothing better. I'm just glad we're young together.
I like the way that you say my name. In the evening when we're far away from distractions, there's something special about that time of night. You like how I get into the mood, treat you like a man while I lose me. There's something special about that time of night. There's something special between you and I.
Yet again, the three-peat is shut down by none other than the man you see scoring right there, First Killer. It's just making sure that NRG does not get their goal for the weekend, and I have him on the mic as well. Congratulations on the win there. You guys looked like you're feeling pretty good.
Thank you, Leaf. Yeah, we're feeling great.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, as simple as that. We talked before with LJ, and he was saying you guys were coming into this trying something new, and I think now 3 series through this bracket, you guys got to be confident that, yeah, this was the right answer.
No, yeah, we've been working hard these past 2 weeks, and yeah, I mean, it's showing off here. We haven't lost a game today. Feeling really good. Yeah, and I think we're gonna take it home today.
I got to ask about this one specifically. I mean, it didn't drop a game. It looked like it could have happened in that last one there against NRG. You had to expect NRG to put up, I guess, more of a fight. I mean, especially given the history between you and Atomic.
Yeah, that series was not as close as I thought it would be. I thought we would at least go to at least a 4-2. But I don't know. I think we just played really well, and they didn't expect it. They weren't prepared for that. Yeah. And yeah, we just took control of the series, and yeah. And also, I'm glad I can finally I can continue the streak of ruining Atomic's 3-peat.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring it up because yeah, you're always in his way here, and now you've got the record yet again of shutting down the 3-peat. And I want to ask, because you guys got the history, I mean, is that fun? Is that in your mind going into this of like, hey, I got this whole extra bit of history I can continue on?
I don't really ever think about it, but after I see it on Twitter and people like talking about it, it kind of is fun. It's like just like have that stat. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Now, I guess just in the matchup specifically, it looked like, they started to have a little bit of an answer maybe, or maybe you guys pulling back at the end. What was going on that kept the ending of that series close, and how are you going to make sure that's not going to happen in the grand finals?
I think we had a lot of momentum going throughout the whole series, and then in that final game, we kind of maybe got a little scared to close it out. So it was kind of scrappy. I think to close it out in the grand finals, we just have to, just like keep the same mentality and not slow down at all. That's pretty much it. We just can't get scared. We just have to know that we're the better team and just control the pace of the field, and we'll be fine.
Hey, whatever you guys are doing is working right now. You got either Pirates or Gen G coming your way, and it sounds like you're confident against whoever it's going to be. So good luck in the grand finals, and maybe we'll have another interview later.
Thank you, Leaf.
First killer. Sounded like they're confident, and it's true. You got to make sure you don't pull back, Bates, when you got that final moment to close things out, and it was First Killer himself that said, okay, let's take control and dive this one home.
Oh, man, they've just been nothing short of spectacular so far. I got my two great statisticians. I got D-Rect and I got Stacks. Give me a couple numbers just to put it in perspective. Ultimate so far today have played 2 series. They're 8-0. They've scored 25 goals. Their opponents have scored 4. In that series against NRG, Ultimate scored 12 goals. NRG only scored 3. That is domination against one of the best teams in the game. Against a trio of Atomic, Daniel, and Beast Mode with Coach Sapu. And since they became a team on G2, prior to the 2024 season for RLCS, have made every single grand final that they have been eligible to compete in. That's 11 straight in a row. And they held them to 3 goals to deny the 3P, to end the grand final streaks, and to bring themselves into the grand finals. Ultimates, come on now. They're balling.
Ark, you had Ultimates, did you not on this one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. Okay, you got to tell me what did you see here that we didn't?
I talked about it in the series itself, and I'll say it again. This is a team that, individually are genuinely some of the most talented players out there. And I think we were all kind of waiting for FK, LJ, and Chronic to learn to play together, and to the level that NRG does, the level of trust and, ability to allow someone to go and be by themselves. So the fact that they finally did that just proved to me, I was like, as soon as that kicks in, teams like NRG are totally going to be gone.
And you could see still no luck, and that matchup didn't have any bearing whatsoever on that last spot there for North America, because if you look at the points, both of those teams were already sitting pretty at the top there. They got their spots locked in. Complexity locked it just before it. Space Station that's patiently waiting to see what goes on here, because this next matchup is the real big one, in all honesty, because these two teams control their own fate as we rocket on towards the grand finals. All we have left now is Pirates on a Boat and Gen G Mobile 1 Racing. Bates, both these teams trying to control their fate here. Obviously, there's still a tiebreaker in one situation, but the pressure is on for them.
The pressure's on indeed, but Pirates on the Boat, we saw them handle that pressure yesterday. Going up against the SSG squad, went to, I think, 4 or 5 overtimes in that series, and you saw an absolutely nasty pass from Creams of 5 up to close it out in Game 7 on Champions Field. We know they can handle the pressure. G&G, on the other hand, they had the clutch up yesterday. Then they went up against Complexity earlier on today and absolutely dominated them. Complexity, they didn't seem like they're moving at their typical pace. They definitely didn't have as much efficiency. While on the other hand, G&G, Magic Bear, the Bear, looking absolutely short, absolutely great. Cheese looks great, and then Slater's been picking it up as well. If Gen.G wins this, just for y'all who don't know, if they win this, they are guaranteed a tiebreaker against SSG at minimum. And that's if they lose the grand finals. If Pope wins this, if Pirates on the Boat wins, shout out Big Eclipse, by the way. If Pope wins, then they have to win the grand finals. There's no guarantee for a tiebreaker. So those are the stakes of that line, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, Ark, it's going to be great. I'm curious, though, if we're going to see teams pull back, go full out. Is this going to be scrappy? Both teams are just trying to tear towards that final spot.
I think all 3 are going to happen at some point in one way or another. In all seriousness, I think Poab is genuinely going to come out swinging, and I don't know how prepared Gen G is for that, if they spent the night preparing for Poab or had them in the back of their mind at all. But, you know, all night, you know, coaches like Eclipse are right up there with Kev and Greg, right? They are the planners. They prepare for every single scenario. So I hope that
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I saw that too. I hope that Gen G is mentally prepared for, you know, the tens of scenarios that are about to be thrown their way. So this is going to be a really interesting one. I do think if Gen G continue to play what we saw them play in their last series, there is a good chance that they come out in a lead. And again, it falls down to the question of, can you close out?
The progressive fan vote is on your screen right now. This means everything for both of these squads. Pirates on a Boat and Gen G Mobile One Racing both have to win and keep winning if they want to make their way to this first major in 2025. They're in Birmingham. Otherwise, they're out. One of these teams is going home after this. There's no more chances there. The question is, who do you think it's going to be? And I mean, it's not going to be, well, Poab, are going to come out swinging. We did see yesterday Reddles say that, you know, he wasn't quite on in that, but today he's looking a lot better, right? You know, a good sleep can get you back in the right mood, and it feels like, you know, there isn't going to be that weak spot that Poab can just target.
Yeah, no, I think Slater's mentality has a huge effect on this team. When he is very down, I think the rest of them feel it and notice it. So, I mean, I think the best example was yesterday. There was the 3-second goal that Gen G had, and he barely made a face. And today he was jumping up and down for every single thing. So that level of difference is going to make a huge impact in today's series.
All right. I mean, I guess the question is, do we think Gen G Mobile One Racing's making their way on there? You do too, or you two do, but I'm going to throw it on Pirates. I mean, Bates, you were talking about being able to handle pressure. You saw it yesterday. I mean, those final moments, they, against Space Station, they had like no boost at one point. They still managed to get that counterattack down the other end. I got to believe in them. Right now, I also, a little bit of slight Canadian bias on Creamsy's
Gen
Canadian love, so.
Gen GK! Gen GK!
Right, get him out of here, because it's been the Bates has not been wrong today, and we'll see how it goes. If that's true, Gen G Mobile One Racing moves on to the grand finals, guaranteeing at least that tiebreaker. But both teams are just aiming for a win on the day to be able to secure Birmingham.
The unlikely is here. Only one of these teams get to the grand finals. Only one gets to move on and try and claim that last major spot. A little bit harder for Pirates on a Boat. For Gen G, you could have a date with Space Station no matter what happens, as long as you win this game, Stacks.
There's so much to be determined here, and who would have thought it would be Gen G and Pirates on a Boat at the start of the weekend playing the most important match of the split. None of the players on this Pirates on a Boat squad have made a regional grand final before. They not only have to get there, but win it if they want to qualify for the major, while, as you mentioned, just winning this series for Gen G secures at least a tiebreaker, but they could also just win it outright and go to Birmingham and take SSG out of the equation. 5-Up's going to turn around on this. He was brilliant yesterday. And then in contrast, Jorby, I mean, Reynolds was very hard on himself for his performance yesterday. All he did today was drop in 4 goals against Complexity to get him to this spot.
Yeah, Reynolds looked excellent in that game.
Oh my God.
Particularly for me, Stacks, this guy right here, Magic Bear, is the rock on which the foundation Gen G build upon. And he gets an easy one. Here is it. Not only he got the 50 underneath 5-Up, but then the back of 5-Up's car ends up hitting that ball too and adds a little bit of extra mustard onto it. And that one was a ripper for Magic Bear. So Gen G pick up right where they left off and continue to roll in the goals. That's exactly how they want it. You don't want to make Pirates on a Boat believe that they can win this game. Because you saw what they did against Space Station. We casted that game together, Stacks. And Hockey, he was on something different in the middle of that rotation when he was, had boost in the tank. But still, you can't count out this Poab team at all. They played a great game against Space Station yesterday. 5 Up, Creams, and Hockey all had things you could point at for positive marks on them. But now the going gets a little bit tougher here as Gen G are finding their seam, and Reynolds picks up his first.
Yeah, Reynolds' 5th goal of the day. And he makes up for the initial shot not being on the mark, and I'm not quite sure what that was out of Creams. I don't know if he just misread where that ball was going, if he felt he wouldn't have had a shot at it. Either way, Reynolds will gladly take it. 2-goal lead now for Gen G. You go back to the early days of this roster with Gen G, and where all the iterations they've gone through with the different orgs. But one of the constants has been this belief that Magic Bear is the truth, and that's been something that maybe Slater has felt a few times. He's had to defend that choice to keep him on the roster, to keep teaming with him, and every time he's been paid off for it. Magic Bear, all he's done is prove his worth at every turn. Even though the fans, for whatever reason, may not seem to agree. That one goes right to 5 Up.
Well, Stacks, when you go to round 5, when you go to game 5 and game 7 all the time, and you don't quite get over the hump, at least from a fan perspective, you can understand why fans.
This is a little angst.
But I think Magic Bear today has definitely shown you why he deserves to be on this roster. For my mark, Cheese has always been the big question mark on Gen G for me. I think his inconsistencies on offense have at times put Gen G back where they would have otherwise been ahead. In the last series, I think some of those things showed up again on offense. He was a lot better on defense. That helped make up for it. But for Cheese in this series, if you're given the shot opportunity, it needs to be on target. It needs to be with power. You need to be putting those types of quality opportunities on net for your team. Hockey is shot immediately denied by Reynolds.
And Cheese, the initial stop there, trying to trigger a counterattack out of the corner. Magic Bear will get that ball moving much more effectively. But he's going to have to peel off this play as 5 Up is all over, and then Magic Bear just jumps right back in. Cheese coming up as well. He's going to have to turn away. Hockey lobbing it downfield where Reynolds is all over it, and Cheese making sure not to get starved out on the opposite side. He's at the back of the play right now, waiting to finish it off perhaps, but 5 Up directs that up to the backboard, and that's well defended by Pirates on a boat under quite a bit of duress. Cream's trying to almost like kind of footstool Magic Bear in the air, and this will just be sent away.
Been a bit shaky for Pirates on a boat on some of these touches out. I thought that 5 Up grab on the backboard that he dropped was definitely going in, but he had someone covering him there. Just not seeing that offensive output. They've gotten a couple of tries towards the net. 5 Up, where they had the most success against Space Station yesterday, he was on point and setting up those plays. Remember, he had that pass, the pinch pass, to get the overtime winner over to Creams. They really haven't been able to find the mark, despite you look at the shot total. They have 8 shots on net. Gen G only have 4. But I really think maybe the game is helping them out a little bit with some of those shots, because I don't remember near all of them. Gen G have got those early goals and held on to this lead easily. Their defense against complexity was part of what just held them over. They almost had the binary sweep. Shout out Shogun, who was no doubt very upset that Complexity scored 2 goals in that game full.
Excellent.
We'll never get it. But Reynolds might get this. Oh. Almost.
Looked like just nothing could go wrong for Gen G until that. But when you've built up a 2-goal lead, you'd afford to have a few things not pan out. Final seconds ticking away. Magic Bear one last stop. Will they add one for the road? It doesn't seem likely, as Hockey should be able to dump that away. And Cheese's shot dies in front of the goal. Doesn't matter. 2-0 to Gen G in the opener. And this wild run continues for, of all teams, who just couldn't get out of their own way for the first month of this split. Gen G, one step closer to Birmingham.
It is kind of crazy how things are working out for them and going on this type of run. I guess GK really inspired a couple of teams last week.
Why not us, right?
Why not? But Pirates got to also be thinking that they can have that. And that play right there kind of set the tone. You can say a little bit of unfortunate and a little bit of we need to find a way to cover that ball up so that 50 never happens. But either way, when it starts off like that, It's kind of tough to catch your footing again if you're Pirates. Heading into game 2, I mean, after they scored their second goal, Pirates were a lot better on the defensive half. I think that they were getting caught out on some of their touches. There was a miscue where 5UP was going for a reset pass, and I think it was Creams underneath him. They didn't connect on that, so like, there was some disconnect and some disjointed plays when they did have opportunities. The Pirates would love this game too just to reset. This is where they need to, though. You can't go down 0-2 here.
I think Reynolds was just as surprised as I was that Creams just turned away from that ball.
Yeah.
But hey,
I don't know what he was seeing on that play. I'd have to go back to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you take it. It's a 2-0 win in game 1. Now we go to the Forbidden Temple in game 2. Gen G inching ever closer, and Space Station sweating more and more. If this continues, as well, Cheese kind of went past that ball and Reynolds had to pick up the slack. Cheese is there in the midfield, and that's popped away. Well done defensively by Pirates on a Boat. A team that is going to have to make their hay defensively if they're going to hang with Gen G and maybe get to the finals and perhaps win said finals to punch their ticket to Birmingham. It's how they've gotten to this point as well. When they've had to score in bunches, yes, they have, but they're certainly a team that's much more comfortable with a 1-0, 2-1 game rather than having to score 3 or 4 to try and keep pace with the opposition.
Yeah, they're 5-0 when they only score 1 goal, right? Or when the game is 1-0, they're 5-0. If they score that goal, they don't let it in. And we saw that defense against Space Station at full effect. Magic Bears got the catch. This time it starts a little bit better for Pirates on a Boat. Let's see if they can actually get possession of this ball with Demo on the back end as well. And wow, what a pop there from the 5-0. And unfortunately for him, no one from his team is going to follow that up easily.
First touch at risk of getting away from Cheese there. He recovered. Now Reynolds with Magic Bear streaking off to the side, and he's going to be right there on the wall to follow the play up. Creams right at Cheese. Cheese for Magic Bear, and that just forced all the way across. Got the boost deal, though, so Hockey will be without boost, and now he's without a presence on the field. Magic Bear with Reynolds sneaking up the side. May not matter. Oh, Magic Bear tried to slow play that, and the option just was not there, and it doesn't work out for Gen G. Pirates on a Boat maybe catch a break here as that goes to the backboard, and 5UP's got it away.
Yeah, it was the smartest play for Magic Bear because Gen G gets to keep the ball. If he tries to force that 50 goes out weirdly. Your team has to reposition, and there's a likely transition afterwards. I don't think Magic Bear's intention was to ever put the ball in the net there. It's to maintain possession. That's been the key for Gen G. Case in point, Stacks. You hold the ball, eventually it's going to find its way in.
Yeah, Pirates on a Boat never really recovered. They got the initial clearance, but they didn't capitalize on that at all. Gen G just kept the pressure going, and it's Reynolds unassisted, who, again, he came in with a lot of motivation today, and he has delivered.
Very solid play overall from Gen G, and again, it's Magic Bear in the little areas, the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. That's something I've always felt that he's done, and I can understand why Reynolds feels like he has to defend him and his position on this team, because people love stats. People love, ooh, wow, look at all these things that they did in the game. Someone's got to facilitate those things. Yeah, but Stacks, you know, you're a numbers guy, sure, but you also understand the context between the numbers matters.
It does?
Okay, buddy. But Daz isn't here. You can't play this game.
That's true. I can't do that to you. Magic Bear trying to get it behind this ball, but Creams able to win it. And Reynolds just going to gently guide that down to the ground. And again, just make it tough for Pirates on a Boat to gain any headway on the offensive end. I mean, just what a wild story this Gen G team has been throughout this opening split. Seemed dead in the water, and Magic Bear under the crossbar will add another, and they won the first game 2-0. They've got a similar lead now.
Oh, 5UP tried to line that up. Reynolds held his flip. And you see 5UP, he's lining it up as if Reynolds is just going to carry the ball to the back wall. He tries to time it, and Reynolds flips. It messes the timing up for 5UP, and he ends up completely whiffing the ball. And it opens it up again, and that's again after Gen G just whittled them down under the pressure. They pick up a demo here, a demo there. They're stealing all of the boost, forcing Pirates to have to manage. And that is something they struggled with against Space Station when it came to scoring goals, was their boost management. And a lot of times you'd see them behind the ball, and they'd have like almost no boost. It's been a little bit better in this game, but when Gen G are playing as well as they are on offense and you're able to starve them out, well, those issues will be highlighted. And Gen G are just playing excellently right now. I thought this might be a trap game for this team. It would be just like Gen G to beat Complexity, only to fall to Poab right after, but it really doesn't feel like that's in the cards for this team. They have played extremely well so far in these first 2 games, and they don't really seem to be letting up.
Similar score lines for these first couple of games. Still time for Pirates to get back into this one. They got to be moving sooner rather than later. Reynolds has it on target. Adds his 3rd of the series, 7th of the day. And Slater, oh so determined to go across the pond.
5-Up got caught ball watching. He had to, someone has to call out that Reynolds is there, because he goes up initially like he's going to go for that ball, and then he lets it drop as if nobody's there, and then all of a sudden Reynolds pops up on the left side of his screen, and by his car language he looks shocked. He started turning tail and running. He's like, oh god, I got to go back and defend this, and now the ball's in your net. You can't be ball watching in a situation like this, especially when you're, I know it's kind of crazy to say you're ball watching when you're first on the ball, but you got to go.
We may have another perfect sweep setup here. 2 games in on this. 5-Up adds one with 3 seconds left. There, we got it out of the way early. And everybody can just put that to rest. It's of no consequence otherwise. But at the very least, Pirates on a Boat get to see the ball go into the net.
It has been one of those types of days, though, hasn't it?
It really has.
Had the perfect sweep setup earlier. NRG got swept by ultimates. First killer, 3rd killer, I guess. But, like, man, Gen GK? Question mark? 2-0, timeout for Pirates, maybe?
Almost certainly. You can't make the mistake that so many others have made in the past of thinking, oh, no, it's okay. We'll just wait until we absolutely need to use it. And in fact, the Pirates will take their timeout here. Boy, and you talk about an uphill climb for this Pirates on a Boat squad. I mean, maybe the honeymoon factor here is kind of worn off. And you've got a Gen G team led by that man right there, Slater, who will not be denied, apparently. I mean,
apparently not.
I mean, this is a guy who, you talk about the kind of competitor that Reynolds is. I remember going back to, what was it, Copenhagen. You know, they looked as dead as could possibly be after the first couple rounds of Swiss. And then managed to drag it all the way back, and I think they had vitality in round 5 and gave them all they could ask for. Falling just short of making the playoffs. I mean, that does describe the Pirates on a Boat offense right there.
That sums it up right now. That's what I was thinking.
But, Reynolds is never out until the final bell rings. And, seeing this Gen G team getting oh so close to actually pulling this off, it's starting to give me goosebumps.
And, I mean, like we said before, all they got to do is make grands, and they at least get the tiebreaker with Space Station. The result against Ultimates will not determine their fate. Obviously, they would love to just beat Ultimates and, get on with their day. But with the way Space Station looked today, I don't know if Space Station even want to play that tiebreaker. They would just love for Gen G to lose here and then Poab to lose to Ultimates. So they ain't got to think about anything anymore. But I don't think that's in the cards. When everyone gets down, everyone has their deck. You got to play your cards right. Space Station didn't play theirs right, and now you're hoping everyone else in the tournament loses. That's never a recipe for success. Poab, a lot of chit-chat going on right now about what to do, how to recover. And I think first things first, you need to go for the ball, man. Like, some of these plays, it wasn't just the 5-up play from Reynolds, but some of these where they're trying to catch and get back, the touches aren't there. You got to stay in this game in every single way. What Pirates have done up to this point has been impressive, no doubt about it. None of these players have made a grand finals. This is the closest that they've ever gotten to it. But even there, Hockey getting up, putting the ball into safety. They need to create some magic here.
There's plenty of magic to be had on the other side of the field. He's waiting for that ball from Creams and wins it. And despite the demo on Reynolds, Gen G attack still very much healthy. There's Cheese and an early lead.
That's what I want to see from Cheese. If you're given the chance, put it on target. It's something he's struggled with throughout his time with Reynolds and Magic, but he's nailing it right now. And a great setup again, like you said. Plenty of magic on the other side. It's bear-sized, Stacks. Magic Bear continues to facilitate Gen G's success.
Maybe if you could point to a weakness for Pirates on a Boat yesterday. Oh, what a shot from Magic Bear. That forced Hockey into action. Is, you know, when Space Station was able to kind of throw the house at them and go for these air dribble bump plays and demos, you know, the second defender had to wait so long to jump into action after the first defender was beat that they just didn't have enough time to react to the play. And that's what's happened a couple times now to Pirates on a Boat. First man gets beat. Hockey on that last play just kind of left to come out and make a quick reflex read and just not able to react quick enough. And it leads to a Gen G goal. They may, in fact, have solved the puzzle that had stymied a few other teams. And Riddle keeps that one out. Oh, what a save!
Wow, I thought that might have gotten squeezed in. A tight window. Gen G won't let them in at all. It's like against complexity. With a few times where Razebull or Diaz were gonna set something up, they get it on target. One of Reynolds, Magic, or Cheese are there to make that goal line stop. Here's another shot from Creeves. And Pirates maybe getting some offense going finally.
They got a chance here. Hockey, though, doesn't have any boost. Creams does. Going for the double, and Cheese knocks that off to the side. Well defended, but again, you'd like to see a little bit more out of Pirates, maybe just a little more aggression. It's just not enough right now. 2 minutes into game 3, having only scored the 1 goal, and, well, that was a little dangerous.
Honestly, better than some of the alternatives, although Reynolds was downfield, like you said, not without risks with the way that challenge went.
Oh, Cheese has Reynolds, but unable to find him. Magic Bear just circling around, just doing donuts at midfield, waiting for the ball to come to him, and, well, Cheese will have to dive in. I mean, Gen G is far from perfect, but
today, though,
yeah, it's certainly well enough to give themselves a shot. And they got the 1-0 lead here, and it will hold that lead after the save by Reynolds.
You think there's an idea or two in the tank for Pirates? But like you said, first man loses. Well, there's just no follow-up, no hold on the 50. There's no Magic Bear for Pirates on a boat. Because that's exactly what Gen G have when their first man, if it's not Magic, kick it behind the ball. Magic gets right in that rotation. He stops the momentum of the other team, holds the ball, buys you a chance to actually get set and make a follow-up. Take the next step, if you will. However, missing that next step right now, and it's really throwing the rhythm off.
Magic Bear has played a little more reserved in this game, just kind of waiting for his spot. May not be necessarily needed. They got the lead. Minute 30 plus. Cheese is going to be all over this ball. Now Magic Bear, bank shot, closed down by 5-up.
Magic's really trying for the cute shots today, isn't he? He had a failed Psycho against Complexity. He had that awesome tight angle shot downfield. Cheese leaves the ball there. Wasn't on his cam. Not sure if he actually went for that or not. As Magic Bear, again, gets that touch out. 5-up gets the demo, though. There's the opening! Finally, Pirates find a way through. 5-up gets their first.
It's a tough read for Cheese, who's starting to go to the back wall and realize he's got to get out and get a hand up on 5-up. And 5-up just a little bit faster. He's got both goals for Pirates on a Boat, trying to will them back into the series. They're going to need one more to get a game here off of Gen G. It is 5-up, leading the charge, down to the final minute now. Reynolds takes that one away. Creams throw it downfield. Hockey's there, and Magic Bear shut him down and kept possession.
Not sure there was an angle there for Hockey. But either way, you like that from Poab. You like that they're actually starting to generate opportunities. Those consecutive touches, finding each other's down those seams. instead of just that first challenge being awkward and not being able to follow it up. That's what helped them get that first goal. But Gen G make it difficult, don't they? Even when you think you have an opening there, Magic Bear shuts it down.
They've made a lot of things difficult this weekend after making things difficult for themselves, all split. 5-up shot, sent away by Magic Bear. Overtime looming now inside 20 seconds. Magic Bear's got something to say about it. Bang, bang!
I believe in Magic! And the Bear certainly does. Gen G certainly do. He doesn't need no boost. 3 boosts, that was just for the flash. He was hitting that all day. Beat it down the midfield. And how about that for the exclamation point? 14 seconds left. Might be match point after all. 5-up. We'll drop it down underneath. Quick dash up the wall. Creeps gets there. Pirates got a little bit of space. Hockey puts it down, but Gen G aren't going down. 1 more to go to the grand final.
Just felt like he was not quite sandbagging the game, but just like kind of waiting back, being a little more patient. It was like a viper, coiled and ready to strike. And when they needed him most, right at the death of regulation, Magic Bear makes a massive impact. You can see the stress
he's
now.
The Avatar. When they needed him most, he didn't vanish. that didn't work out for them. That's why I shouldn't open my mouth.
I'll give you the pity laugh anyways. I appreciated the effort. I mean, you could see for a moment though the stress on the face of the Pirates players after that game. You know, it's starting to sink in exactly what they have in front of them. Because remember, there is another team on the other side here. This is a Pirates team that came in basically needing to win this whole thing to get a shot at Birmingham. And the pieces have fallen into place so that if they do pull that off, they're there. But they're oh so close and having it ripped away by Gen G Mobile One Racing. The timeout has already been used, so now they have to go right into Game 4, Jorby, needing 4 in a row to keep their hopes alive.
It will be difficult. The Pirates, the fact that they got to this point is not something I think many people would have predicted in the first place. The fact to have your major hopes alive this far on the final day of NA Open 3, really no matter what happens after this, I don't think Poab could be too upset with how things have gone this split. How you've been able to progress. Sure, you've never made that final. You'd love to get into that final. I mean, that just highlights how well Gen G have played today. I mean, they're rolling right through. They are certainly believers as well, Stacks. Hockey losing that ball to Magic Bear. Creams forced to give it up. He got the lead. What are you supposed to do?
You know who's going absolutely unhinged right now? Both Spaceman and Corelli.
I can hear Spaceman from here. They're playing the song, one of the songs.
Of course.
Got a lot of
those. Maybe not so much round 5 anymore. But this is just spectacular stuff out of Gen G. On a personal note, of course, congratulations. Corelli, newly married as of yesterday.
Yeah. Congratulations to him. Also, what was Spaceman say? I believe it's not the statistics. It's not the statistics.
There's a lot of things that Spaceman says. I tried to tune out half of it. Hockey with a big win going downfield. I mean, look at the 50 here with Cheese starting to come in. Now let me flex my muscles. And Hockey's got him right back in it.
That's definitely fortunate. He got a great first touch. But as he's falling down, he just makes sure he can at least get a 50. And without any boost, can't do much to adjust. So you just kind of hope that the ball falls your way, the challenge falls your way, and it does. 5-up steals another one, and he slips it into the left side. Now Pirates aren't just going to lay over and let Gen G take it.
No, they are not. Boy, what a win. And then Magic Bear just kind of left in an awkward spot there because he's got, I believe it was Reynolds coming in, trying to take over his primary defender, and just that little hesitation. That's all it takes. 5-up takes advantage, and all of a sudden, Pirates on a boat have finally turned it around. Very rare lead in this series for the Pirates after they went nearly 2 full games without getting on the scoreboard at all.
Oh, such a clean reset from 5-up. No follow-up. Again, no one in a position to do anything with that ball. and easily turned around as well. Even there, you see the demo, and you just feel like Gen G are going to get right back into it here with Magic Bear behind it. But Poat doing enough right now, getting behind the ball, doing the job on defense. 5-Up has no boost, sits right in. You saw him use the wave dash, trying to keep his momentum with the play. Barely kept himself in position, and at least buys his team time, but they are really hurting for some boost right now. Gen G keep taking it. Gen G just took that corner. Reynolds snipes the left side! You're starved, you can't eat, Stacks. We're all tied up.
Slaughter Thomas. Pass to himself through traffic. Perfect placement. Reynolds, what a play.
Man, that's, to me, the big difference with Gen G so many times is, like, you've seen them take lead in series before. Reynolds, Magic, and Cheese, no matter what org is representing them. Oh,
okay, Cheese.
Okay. Wait, Magic? Okay, guys. Trying to make some points here. Just gonna score again real quick. Why not? Reynolds steals more boost. Stacks, you take it over.
A hockey. Good win there to just keep the attack alive, but it dies out very quickly after. She should have this one as Cream's kind of got tied up on the side there. And again, you know, I don't want to get too close to just giving him too much credit because Reynolds would hate it if I did. But you go from how he looked yesterday and how he felt. He even said it in the interview that he felt like he was hard carried by his teammates and that he would have to come back better tomorrow. It's hard to do better than what we've seen out of Reynolds right now. 5 goals in this series to go with the 4 against Complexity. And he's got this game all tied up now. 2 goals apiece. Hockey sends one out. And Reynolds will have to retreat. I think the biggest difference, if you go back and look at the series yesterday compared to the couple of series today, he's actually had boost in the tank a lot more often. And he's used it to make a save like that.
Oh, and a precarious touch from Magic Bear, swinging around, knew that someone was going to be there to challenge his touch. 5-Up denied as well. Not high enough to get it around Cheese. And I mean, Reynolds has played it well. You say he has a little bit more boost in the tank. That's because he's taken everybody else's. Like, that whole time, Stacks, that you were talking, Gen G were just swinging around, taking not just the canisters, but also the pads. And that's a tough life on defense when you know the corners are gone, so you think, okay, I'll just get the diamond, and the diamond's not there. You're like, fine, not the diamond, I'll get the ones on the edge. The ones on the edge aren't there. And Gen G holding the ball. They haven't gotten the ball in the net. Pirates still doing enough on defense to survive, but that's what they're doing right now. Surviving on the pass from Reynolds up high. Cheese waits for the whip, and 5-Up gets there in time.
And Cheese has practically been farming boost this whole game.
Magic.
And that makes it real tough for Pirates. And Cheese able to weave through traffic, and just like that, Gen G are 42 seconds away from at least a tie in the split.
You know, it's like when you go camping and you're in the cabin, or you go out walking on a hike, and then you come back and a bear is in your fridge in the cabin taking all of your food. That's exactly what Magic Bear did on that play. He took away your corner boost after he took away like 5 more, and Cheese is doing the same. Look, man, if you don't got boost, there ain't much you're going to be able to do. You can survive for a long time on low boost. Pirates have proven that. But they've also proven that eventually you will crack. Eventually you will starve. And it looked like the net was wide open, but nobody there from Gen G was ready, Stacks. For 15 seconds, and at least a tiebreaker is theirs to hold.
Final countdown of Game 4. Pirates opening split comes down to 5-Up getting a shot, and it's blocked away by Cheese. A Space Station Gaming. Objects in the mirror are a lot closer than they appear. Gen G to the finals.
Actually, Gen GK. Open 3 in both regions, providing right now. And honestly, I said at on the pre-show yesterday, we did the little whiteboard segment of what's the percentage chance that the unlikely scenarios for these for these major contenders happen. I put a big fat 0% out on Gen G. I am sorry. I was wrong. But hey, they hadn't shown me anything beforehand. But a spaceman would say, it's not the statistics. They're bucking every statistical trend right now, Stacks.
They really are. This is just unbelievable. We saw it from GK in Europe. Now we're seeing it from Gen G Mobile One Racing as they sweep Pirates on a boat out of the opening split, or out of contention for the Birmingham Major. But that means that Gen G is still alive. They've got the Ultimates coming up in the grand finals. And what a wild matchup that could be. And imagine the emotional roller coaster right now for Space Station and their fans as they've got to watch this and now just hope that they even have a chance to make amends for fumbling down the stretch. It is a sweep from Gen G Mobile One Racing, and the grand finals are coming up next.
Don't pause, replay. Don't pause, press.
Welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series as we watch Pirates on a Boat fall victim to Genji Mobile One Racing's cruise on through to the grand finals. They take it in 4 as they try to make a statement to the Ultimates as they still hold their fate in their hands. The grand finals on the way. Before that, we got to talk about it though. Bates, Stacks, welcome to the desk here. Stacks, Genji, they lock in at least the tiebreaker for themselves, but they're looking to avoid that by getting a win coming up.
Yeah, my God. Again, this is a team that couldn't get out of their own way for the better part of a month. And then all of a sudden, the stars have aligned perfectly, and Magic Bear scoring goals like that. I mean, Reynolds goes off for 5 goals, 9 on the day after being so rough on his performance. I still don't know what on earth Creams was doing on that particular play, but you know, hey, things are working out perfectly for Gen G, and now they are just 1 win away from claiming a spot in Birmingham outright. But man, oh man, they have a buzzsaw waiting for them now on the other side of this in the grand finals. And they're going to need all of this and more if they're going to take it in the grand finals.
Yeah, no, they definitely are, Bates. I mean, you can look good up to a certain point. You start realizing the competition gets harder as you go along.
I mean, yeah, it does get a little harder as you go along. But I mean, this Gen G squad, they've been going on. My oil's been making their way through. They've only dropped 1 game so far today. They dropped 1 to complexity. They swept Poab. The Pirates on the boat. Listen, they're sunk. They sank right now, and now they got to go against the Ultimates. The Ultimates are skying and flying really high. They have yet to lose a game. Wow, a perfect 12-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. My gosh, the Ultimates have been on one. I already talked about the amount of goals they've conceded, and it hasn't been many. It's been few and far between. So Gen G, they gotta punch up. But if you're a Gen G fan, the comfort you get is that they don't have to win this match. If they win, they're in. If they lose, they got a date with SSG coming up right after. So Gen G's comfortable right now. They're playing with house money.
No, as you just said, if they lose this, we still got another game after the grand finals. Ultimates could, cruise on through maybe with another 4-0 themselves. But we still have to figure out who's that last spot there for North America going to Birmingham. All the other regions said, yeah, we're done. But North America decided to bring it right up to the end. And even then some. If Gen G can't win at Stacks, we'll have that tiebreaker after. Something SSG was hoping wouldn't happen.
Well, and this is the worst part for Space Station 2, because even if they get another shot at this and they get that tiebreaker, remember how long ago they lost? I mean, sure, the series have all been quick, so I guess that's working in their favor, but they've been on ice just kind of watching this going, well, gee, I hope we still maybe have a chance at this, or hope that we just get lucky. And now, man, they're going to have to come back and play this tiebreaker series after all the disappointment from earlier today. It's still not a great spot for them, but hey, I guess it's better than nothing.
Now the grand finals is the last potential matchup for the day, as the Ultimates have a chance to give us one more. But Gen G Mobile One Racing facing on the other side of a chance to secure this. Everything is in their hands, and maybe Bates, knowing that they have that extra life right now, I mean, sometimes you can see that spark a team into doing things they usually wouldn't.
I mean, I could see them definitely going for a couple more aggressive plays than they're accustomed to, since they know they have that to fall back on.
Right.
In saying that, though, they're riding a wave right now. You have the momentum. You're feeling good. Ultimates, there's ways to go where Ultimates comes out and they dominate them. If they dominate Gen G, I think Gen G just going to shake it off, say, listen, we got earned against SSG. Now, if it gets close and it goes all the way to 7 and it's a mentally exhausting set, the Gen G's got to bounce back and play SSG. That momentum that they've generated, that has been that they've been building off of this whole entire day, it goes away. So that is a question that's going to be. This is going to be all mental for Gen G at this point. You know they have the skill, you know they have the talent, you've done the work, but it's going to be a mental battle for them. If they lose the Ultimate, can you bounce back against SSG? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, no, Stacks, we were talking before. I mean, a lot of that energy relies around Reynolds. If you see him looking happy and stuff, there, the rest of the team is feeling good too.
The last time, if Reynolds wins this grand final, it would be his first since 2021. let me set the stage for you for a moment. His coach was Chrome. The sub on the team was Sathu. His teammates were Reciprocal and Arsenal. And the three on the other side were Turbo, Pulsa, Mist, and Atomic. It was that long ago. It was that long ago. It just feels like ancient history at this point.
That's crazy. He beat the machine for his last win. Listen, that's not something to sniff at. If y'all know about the RLCS lore, the machine's one of the greatest teams of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
You can chat. You can't hear it too, but the rest of the group, everyone else laughing too. Bates living back in memories of the machine. Those were the days, weren't they? But yeah, that's not where we're at right now. This is a different landscape, Bates. This is the Ultimates are facing off against, and the players on Genji Mobile One Racer right now, and Reddles. You know, there's been a lot of ups and downs throughout that time.
It has been a lot of ups and downs, but he's still here right now. I still believe that Cyprical and Arsenal can still be playing to this day as well. That SSG squad was great. He's got a great Gen G squad at the moment. Going up against Ultimate Squad, though, I heard FK in the interview. He seemed comfortable. He seemed confident. Some people, I'm sure some people are probably commenting on his interview skills. His interview skills seem great, and his on-the-field game looks better than ever. He's looking for another regional win, and it has to be said, I don't know the stat right off the top of my head, but I'm inclined to believe that over the past 2 years, the majority of the winners either have Atomic on the team or they have First Killer on the team, and it might not just be the majority. It might be the entirety of it.
It might be 100%. I'm having a hard time thinking of who else.
Yeah. Who else would have won? Yeah, so if it's not one of them two names, nobody else can win the regional. So, Genji has a chance to do something.
Well, chat, what do you think? Progressive fan vote still up. One more here for the grand finals for the analysts here. I mean, I feel like the ideal thing, and I'll put it up there first, is the Ultimates to go for. I feel like this is the safe bet. I mean, I think we're going to a tiebreaker with Space Station Gaming. Do you guys follow along, though?
Leaf never picks the upset. But I will say that the Gen GK story, it ends right here. Genji, you got to earn it against SSG in the tiebreaker matchup to make Birmingham. You don't get to get out of it. Give me the Ultimates. They're looking too good right now. Listen, Genji, I'll come back to you in about an hour. In about an hour, I'll be back with you.
All right, Stacks, let's wrap this up. Get the Ultimates up.
The bear has been well fed, and at this point, I am not going to keep doubting Gen G. They are a team on a mission. Reddles has been out of his mind. I understand how fantastic the Ultimates have been, but history right now seems to favor Gen G.
Hey, Rocket League's good with storylines, and that would be a good storyline. Maybe we'll get another game. Who knows right now? We'll find out. Only by playing this next best of 7. The grand finals for Open number 3 has arrived. The Ultimates try to shut down Genji Mobile One Racing as they hold their fate for Birmingham in their hands.
One more to go for Gen G, trying to do the improbable. And what's fun about improbabilities is that they do not happen very often, if at all. The game 1, brought to you by Progressive, gets underway. Gen G have the chance to end it all right here and make the major and buck the historical trend, the First Killer winning another one.
The amount of lore behind this grand final, Jorby, is insane. I think the one, though, that everybody needs to remember that is probably the deepest and gonna cut the deepest is eyes, for me, are on Cheese and Chronic. There was a time when Gen G wanted to replace Cheese with Chronic. Chronic opted for First Killer and LJ, and they kept Cheese. And so far, in both scenarios, it has been the right call, but this head-to-head proves everything at the end of the day for who made the better decision.
Right now, I mean, Ultimates, they just took down NRG. They've had to sit for a little bit. No doubt Gen G love the fact that they just get to go right into this game with how they've been playing. LJ, in particular, who's been insane in this tournament. First Killer, drop off back to Chronic. It will be a tough out with how the Ultimates have been playing. Chronic up for this, and Cheese gets there in time. Well, Magic Bear putting on one heck of a performance this weekend, and LJ still putting the shots on. Reddles continues to find saves there on the goal line.
He's been very impactful defensively for this team in every series he's been playing in today. Definitely a standout player on that end of the field. But of course, for the Ultimates, all three have been insane on level 10 in every position they have been put in. First killer, almost past Magic Bear, but it gets left. The pass back over to Cheese isn't gonna go past Chronic. Ultimate's getting creative. The pass to first killer, a lot of power on this one. LJ's gonna try and clean it up off the backboard, down center, over to first killer, slowed down by Reddles, and pressure's not off quite yet. As this one goes down mid, LJ pops it back up.
One thing that Gen G really have to do is not get demoed there and not get dunked. However, that's a tough ask when LJ and first killer are staring you down through the air. LJ beating the first defender, deleting the...
It is going to be very trusting and from the sky into the net. He saw the pop up.
That maybe other teams could find a way to exploit. Well, it was just about...
Last season, they had made it. They're like you said, depths in the beginning of this.
Another questionable read early. Backflipped and just gotta recover. He's with the opening, and you better put that one home.
Cannot count this team out. They are extremely passive together, and they found every single opportunity to get around the Ultimate defense. Tied game at a minute 34 on the clock. Gen G are still in.
I think his first killer, instead of going to challenge that ball, he didn't think Magic Bear was going to be able to stretch, but as soon as he saw first killer on the wall, he thought, okay, I'll try to shift that out to Reddles as far as I can. And then Reddles wins a huge 50, then there's a double commit. Well, sure, every double commit isn't a sin. That one certainly opened it up for Cheese. And you'll take the openings. Ultimates didn't give so many of them against NRG. Chronic is downfield waiting for LJ. He'll leave and go get boost. LJ just holds the ball for first killer. Ultimate's trying to get reset.
1 minute left in this game number one. A little bit of a back and forth game. Last one to score was Gen G. Can they do it again here? No, Cheese has to leave it. Reynolds takes his time. Very low boost. Most he can do is try and stop it and allow someone back, and he does. Cheese gets bumped off, but Magic Bear's that player everyone's been keeping their eyes on. And it's one after the other for Gen G, just trying to find any sort of an opportunity